Hello, welcome to Fountain Art. I believe we are on week 17. I cannot believe it. It's awesome. My name is Emily. I am your guide for this grounding meditated art class, and I think we're gonna have a wonderful time tonight. We are painting a Halloween scene. I'll show you really quick. You can kind of choose what you want it to look like, but we've got this one and this one and this one. I made a bunch of them, and then there's also a blue one that's vertical. I put them a poll on Instagram and it was overwhelmingly orange, which makes sense for Halloween. So you can use whatever colors you want tonight, but this is the general like idea. A shadowy, a shadowy, uh, moonlit sky. It's going to be amazing. I'm so excited. So let's go ahead and get started with some shaking. So stand up. All right. So the reason we do this is because our body holds and stores energy and trauma and just like junk that we don't really want going in our bodies right now when we're trying to be relaxed and peaceful. And a good way to get those emotions and those feelings out is to shake them out. Another thing does is turns on the blood flow to everywhere in our whole body, which is fantastic because sometimes you're just like sitting and not doing a lot, or you're doing the same thing over and over again, and your blood just needs freshened up. I don't know if there's anything true about that, but it makes me feel better and it makes me feel like it's true. So we're doing it. So we are shaking your arms, flap your flabby wings, flap your arms, flappy, flappy, flappy. Okay, we're gonna shake our foot. Shake your foot. If you need to balance, you can. Shake your foot. And then your whole leg. And then you can do the other one. Shake your foot. And then shake your leg. Shake your booty. Shake your hips. Stretch your hips out really good. We store a lot of trauma in our hips. It is just a place that holds all the junk. So sometimes if you get a really good stretch going in your hips, you will actually feel some like sadness or anger or some really weird feelings come up. And that is because when you get a really good hip stretch and you're being super intentional about it, you can release some stored nonsense in there. Okay, ready? Shake your body again. We're gonna have a great time. Shake your shoulders. Shake your neck. Maybe don't shake your neck. Maybe just like gently lean your head side to side. To your chin to your chest. I like to put my arms behind my back and stretch right here. Like this. Just kind of open up all these muscles here. Back. Oh, that hurts. Oh no. I've been crocheting a lot this week. And I think I've been looking down way too much. Owie. Okay. I'm going to do a big stretch down. You can just touch your toes if you want. Oh, touch your toes. Okay. Feel good. How do you feel? Do we need to do it more? Oh, we need to get the energy that we've just released, get it off of us and throw it out the window. Don't throw it in your room or on your bed or on your couch. Just get it all off of you and just take your metaphysical energy that's all over your body and just get it off of you. It lives in your hair. It lives in the dark, sweaty places on your body. You know what I'm talking about. Just gonna take it all and throw it away. Make sure you're breathing this whole time. Wipe your legs off. Okay, now we're ready. So find a comfortable seated or laid down position. For me, I like to sit cross-legged in my chair. You could do whatever you want. A lot of times when people are doing this type of meditation, they like to sit with their feet flat on the ground, but I prefer to sit really nice and straight on my tail, on my sit bones, on like my booty, and then I cross my legs and I just kind of wiggle into this position. I'll show you. See, super easy. And I just wiggle into it to make sure everything is super cozy. Okay. If you have any last wiggles or scratches or like overall just like discomfort somewhere that you need to deal with, go ahead and do that. I always get like itches on my neck right before I do all these things. My ears are itchy tonight. All the remaining like weird feelings off of you. Okay. Put these back on. So here's what we're gonna do. We are going to close our eyes. We are going to do some guided meditation. Okay? I may need to find a minute just to ground myself. So if we're all just taking deep breaths for a little bit, just know I have a plan. I just need to find my center. Also, it's hotter than heck in here. Let me open the window. Okay. Thought I heard something rustle outside my window when I opened it. That was terrifying. Okay. I'm going to ask you when you're ready to close your eyes. We're going to take a deep. I'm going to yawn first. I'm going to take a deep breath in and out. Relax your shoulders. Make sure your hips are cozy. Sit straight up and down. Take a deep breath in and out. In and out. I like to set my hands on my knees. And when we take a deep breath in, make sure you're filling up your stomach and then blowing it all out. We want to fill our entire diaphragm. I have to actually unbutton my pants because I can't do deep breaths and sit down. Oh, much better. Okay. My pants were so tight that I couldn't breathe in my diaphragm. It's a problem, friends. Make sure you can breathe for real. Okay. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Again, in one more time. Breathe in and out. For the last couple weeks, during our grounding meditations, we have been talking about paying attention to what our mind is trying to tell us. And we've spent time digging through what are some ways we can listen to our minds, some ways that we can calm and figure out how to give our minds time and our bodies time to talk to us and tell us what it needs. And tonight I would like to close that lesson. So we're going to do it one more time and just like really ground it in as the thing that we've learned how to do. So let's begin. Deep breath in. Breathe in again. And out. So on these, you're breathing in deep, and then you're breathing in deeper with that same breath, and then you let it all out. So breathe in again and out. Wow, those make me yawn. Breathe in again and out. This time we're going to try to hold it at the top. Breathe in again. Hold and out. I want you to look inside of your body. I want you to start from your mind's eye. And I just want you to do a quick scan through your head, traveling down your neck, through your shoulders, quick scan of your arms, your fingers, back to your shoulders, move through your chest, your heart, your diaphragm, core, your pelvic bones, your pelvic bowl, your legs, and your feet. We're going to scan back up again, this time noticing anything that seems dimmer, like any spots that seem not as bright or light and airy and glowy, and anything that seems out of place that doesn't belong. So let's scan back up, starting at our feet, our calves, our knees, our thighs, our hips, our pelvic bowl, our core, our chest, our heart, our shoulders, our arms, our hands, back to our shoulders, our throat, our neck, our spine, our brain, and back to our mind's eye. Did you notice any parts of you that seem out of place, dim, or any extra junk in there? And I want you to just keep note of those spaces. We're going to take a deep breath in and out. In and out. On this next deep breath in, we are going to find a seedling sitting at the base of our spine and pelvic bones. Deep breath in and out. It's a small little seedling. And on the next deep breath in and the out, we will see that the seedling is beginning to grow roots into the soil. Deep breath in and out. Our roots are going through our chair, into the earth, through our floorboards and our baseboards and our basements and anywhere we are sitting that is going straight into the earth. And as soon as it hits the soil, it is scattering roots in every direction, some very strong, thick ones, and some spindly little wispy roots. It's just going out in every direction, knowing exactly what it's looking for. I want you to follow the route that will take you to rest in knowledge and wisdom and freedom. Deep breath in and out. You are searching for knowledge and rest and wisdom and freedom. Breathe in and out. In and out. Once more, in and out. You have traveled this route and you have found the end of it. And it is found an oasis. It is a beautiful, cool body of water that you could just sit at and eat grapes and drink cool beverages all day with fans and like palm leaf fans. And you are sitting here in this place that your roots have taken you into, this place that just feels like freedom, knowledge, wisdom, and rest. And you have also found love and guidance and courage living together in this space, this beautiful, beautiful space. You are sitting and relaxing and knowing exactly how to move forward in your life, knowing exactly what the things that you've been working out with in your brain, the things you've been working through, the time you've been giving yourself. You have seen the things and you have been working through the things for 4 long weeks, 5 long weeks. And you are at peace. You take a deep breath in and out. In and out. You're bathing in this peace, this rest, this deep understanding and knowledge of the way that your life is going to work. Maybe not everything, but the problems that you've been working through are being solved. You take one last breath in this place and one last glance around. Breathe in and out. And we are back in our seed. And we are going to grow. We are going to grow this plant. Take a deep breath in and out. We are going to grow our plant into the sky, knowing the feeling of rest, freedom, knowledge, understanding, courage, love, peace, kindness. We are going to grow into all of those things we have rooted into. Deep breath in and out. The stem is growing through you and bursts through the top of your head. And it grows up into the sky. Deep breath in and out. In and out. As you're deeply breathing, this plant is starting to push off stems and branches and leaves. Deep breath in and out. You notice that as it starts to blossom and bloom, every flower is full of knowledge, wisdom, peace, freedom, love, understanding, and kindness. And you see these flowers and these fruits start to just burst forth from you. Breathe in and out. As you notice what your plant looks like, what you look like growing into this plant. And you see these wonderful attributes bursting forth in your flowers. You see that they are all amazing gifts that live inside of you for you and for the people near to you. When you are rooted and growing in these things, you live in abundance and plenty of these attributes. When you are rooted in freedom, knowledge, grace, wisdom, love, understanding, kindness, you are able to give these same things to the people around you. But most importantly, you are able to give them to yourself. You're able to pour into yourself with knowledge, freedom, wisdom, grace, kindness, deep understanding, and love. Deep breath in and out. I want you to sit for a moment and take it in around you. of what living in this cleansing spirit feels like. Like the most beautiful waterfall just constantly pouring out of you. Breathe in and out. In and out. On this next breath, you become one with this plant that has grown. You and it start to just mush together like you're just walking into each other almost. You have absorbed it and you are living. And you have absorbed the freedom, the kindness, the love, the grace, the deep understanding, and the knowledge that you have grown and rooted yourself in. On this next breath, you will be one with these things. Deep breath in and out. In and out. I want you to take time to thank this plant, the place you found in your roots, the way your roots have grounded you in those beautiful attributes. Deep breath in and out. And on the next breath, we will open our eyes and come back to this place. 2 breaths in and out. In and out. When you're ready, you can open your eyes and just kind of sit with the knowledge of living in those attributes for a while. It's amazing. I am going to pause the video for a moment so that I can move my camera around. If you'd like to take this time to write down any thoughts you've had during the guided meditation, you can. Or if you'd like to take some time to get your just one piece of paper ready, that'd be awesome. It'll only take me a few minutes and I will be right back. Okay, I am back. I have my paper set up in front of me here. I am using, it's like a 6 by, I don't know, 10. Nope. 6 by 9. A 6 by 9 inch of paper here. I just cut a piece of paper in half because I am loving these little ones. I think they're super fun to paint a smaller picture here. So we've got a couple different options, lots of different ideas for you to do. Tonight, I am going to guide you, but you can do it however you want it because the principles are going to be the same no matter which way you choose, okay? And I'm super excited for this. I had way too much fun doing this. Actually, I'm going to show you another one. Here's another one that I did. It's much bigger. Took a ton of paint, but this is another option for colors if you wanted. But I really like the simplicity of these. I think they look kind of vintage and pretty stinking cool. So you can do whatever color scheme you'd like. I think I'll be doing the yellows and oranges and browns and black. The reason being is this one I used lots of different versions of blue paint, lots of different kinds of blue paint, and I think it's going to be less accessible to everyone. But these are just a white yellow, orange, red, brown, and black. So I think we all have those no matter what kind of watercolor set we're using. So take a mental note of those. I can show you again in a little bit. They all use the same colors, just in different amounts. All right. Oh, I'm so glad to see you all here tonight. The chat is open. If you need to ask any questions or talk about anything, please do. The first thing we're going to do tonight, I actually don't know why I have two of these set up. We are probably only doing one, but who knows? Maybe I'll do two. You will need a hair dryer tonight because some of it takes a little bit longer to dry and you do have to do some layers. So if you have a hair dryer, get it. If you don't, just like do this a lot. Okay. Okay, so you need a pencil. We're gonna do a quick sketch of what we want. You know, I'll just set these all up here for now. And then this one is vertical. So go ahead and just kind of think of where you want your tree to be, what type of ground you want to have, if where you want your moon to be. Those are what we need to be picking out right now. So for this one, I'm going to have my ground. I'm probably going to do one like this again. This one, I have two hills. I'm going to do this one with just one ground. And I'm going to sketch that on. I'm going to decide where I want my tree to be. And I think I want it to be very similar to this one. I'm going to sketch my tree. And try to sketch lighter, but it's actually not a big deal this time if you sketch bigger, like darker, because we are going to be filling things in with black. I'm going to put my tree here. The branches, you don't have to draw every branch, just kind of a general idea of where you want the branches to be, because we will be painting over them. So you'll be able to change and adjust to where you want all your branches. But it is kind of nice to have an idea so you don't have to do all of that work later. Now, I know usually we do a meditation, like not a meditation, but we like talk through some of the things we've been working on during our art, but this is a little bit more instruction oriented. So I don't know how much we'll be able to talk about things tonight, but I will do my best to let us just kind of absorb some of the meditation we just went through. I'm just sketching, make your branches kind of like wiggly, like you just kind of loose. It's where I think I want a branch type of thing. No, that's the thing that needs to go there. And again, we're going to be painting over all this, so it doesn't have to be set in stone. I really hate that. All right, I'll figure that out later. And then we decide where we want our moon. I think I want my moon a little bit higher in this one, right in the middle of my paper though. It's gonna be a giant moon. And then in this one, I drew in my pumpkins. So you don't need to draw your pumpkins exactly how you want them, but you will want to at least have a sketch, like a outline of where you want your pumpkins. So I think I'm gonna have a pumpkin over here, like a tall pumpkin. A tall, fat pumpkin. And I'm just gonna draw it like this. And just kind of draw the stem in. And then I'll probably do another one down here. These are massive pumpkins compared to this tree. And maybe one more pumpkin. I have a headstone here, but I don't think I'm going to draw another one with a headstone. Okay. And another thing I'm going to do on here is draw, I want them to be jack-o'-lanterns with little faces. So I'm going to draw those on. And then this one. And one more here. Okay. So I have my little faces, the bats, and anything extra, we add those in later. So we have our general idea right now of where we want this all at. It can, of course, change, but once you have it sketched in, you will get your paints ready. I'm going to set these over here. Oh, you will want your moon, sorry about that. You will want your moon to be a little bit lighter. I'm just going to erase it slightly because you don't want to see your outline so much in your moon, because your moon will be the lightest color and it will be very hard to hide the outline of your moon. Okay. So I am going to start by wetting down my watercolors, and I'm going to wet down my yellow and oranges and also some brown and black. So you're going to, and you need your paint water. Mine is quite dirty because I've been painting all day and I did not change it. So you are going to start with your lightest color. I am using a size round 10. You do not have to use one that big, but that is what I'm doing my wash with, my background, okay? I'm going to go in with my lightest, which for me is going to be this taupey cream color, but for you, it might be a light yellow. And that we are just going to outline around our moon very lightly. You can avoid your tree branches. If you drew it just like I did not mean to paint right there. I'm going to avoid my tree branch for these light colors, but there will be paint on it, so don't worry. And then I'm just gonna kind of flare it out. I'm gonna scooch this in, okay? There we go. Okay, just gonna flare us out right here. Smudge that paint out a little because we wanted to make it look like the moon is glowing. Like it's one of the biggest, brightest moons. Just lighting up the sky. Are we doing okay so far? Yes. Okay. Sorry, my camera cannot focus. Okay, now I'm going to go in with a yellow. I'm going to use a golden yellow color, like a sunflower yellow. I'm going to go in just right on the edge of here. I'm going to drag it out. And because I don't know where all my branches are going yet, I'm just going to go right over top of where I've drawn my branches. Like this. And I'm going to very quickly get some wet water on my brush. And just kind of blend this edge just with water from my lightest color to my next color. If you don't know yet, we are going to just be moving outward with darker colors. And it's okay if you trend kind of light this first time, because we will add darker later, okay? So the next one I'm going to do an orange. I'm going to go right on the edge here of my yellow. My orange is not very dark. It's kind of a mac and cheese color. So I will be darkening it up later. But something you want to remember, the reason I had you draw your pumpkins right now is because I want you to make sure that whatever color you paint by your jack-o'-lanterns, if you are painting jack-o'-lanterns, that it's a glowing light color. So we're not going to paint a dark color as the background of our jack-o'-lanterns. So like this one over here, it's pretty far away from where it's on the other side of the tree. So it would be in a shadow, correct? But because it's over here, we would definitely see it glowing. So I'm just going to give it yellow here, okay? So that it will glow. This will all make sense later, I promise. And I'm going to add in some more. Oh, that was yellow. I meant it to be orange. That's okay. I'll just add that in over here. Actually, this one would be yellow. Okay. Add some more orange up here. I'm not really worrying about covering up my tree. And I'm going back in with just water and just blending that edge between the yellow and the orange out. So it's not just like a straight line. Then I'm going to go in with a slightly darker orange. It's probably going to look a little too red, but we'll deal with it. Here on the edge, because I have multiple colors of orange, I'm doing this. If you do not, you could go into a red right here and just pull, like layer your red and your orange together. Another option as we get close to the edge is use a super dark color. So for instance, on these very outside edges here, I'm going to go in, after I blend this line here, I'm going to go in with a reddish brown color. I have to get it wet. That is too red. And just go in like this. put in the wrong one again. It's so red. Okay. And then just gonna add a little bit more orange to over here. Kind of lost it. Make sure you're taking your time to not be super gloppy with the paint. Because you don't want your paper to warp too bad. Okay. Let's dry this. That got too dark right there. My pumpkin eyes got too dark, so I just dabbed it up. Sorry. Let's dry it really quick so we can move on. I'm going to mute and pause the video and dry my paper. Okay. So mine is dry. It didn't take too long. You can go ahead and, do I need to slow down? Are you guys doing okay? Do I need to take a minute and just like chat with you for a while? Or are we doing all right? Or can none of us type anything because I'm rushing you all way too much? That's okay too. I can slow down. I'll let you have a minute. Yeah. So yes, oh yes, please slow down. Okay, I'm sorry. I painted so many of these now. I got pretty speedy at them. My apologies. I will slow my horses down. I love Halloween. I think it's super fun. I can't believe it's already next week. Like, how is that even possible? Another thing that's happening this week is it's my birthday on Saturday, and I try to make no since I've turned 30, my birthdays have felt super like magical and like a really big life change. And I feel like this time I'm turning 33, and for some reason I am kind of avoiding something, and I don't know what it is, but I feel like the universe is trying to tell me something. And I've just been kind of turning on a lot of background noise, which we talked about last week, how that was a problem. And it still is this week. And I don't know how to prevent it. I feel like my brain is just going to go insane if I have to sit with myself. But usually, as I've said before, that means that I'm avoiding something. And it's quite interesting to me that I'm sitting here in the cusp of my birthday, in between two major eclipses, sitting at a full moon on Saturday, and just thinking, man, this would be the perfect time to be listening to the universe. And I am doing my darndest to avoid it. And it's so interesting to me because I love listening to the universe, but something's going on. And I am apparently being ignorant on purpose. And that's never good. So that's how my week's going. And I don't know what that means. And it's been kind of a weird thing to think about. I don't know what to do about it. Okay. I know you guys are still working, so I don't want to rush you. I think part of avoiding whatever's going on with what I need to be listening to and learning right now is also kind of distracting me from doing any real like mental or emotional work right now. Not allowing myself to tune in fully to what the universe what God wants me to be doing. And it's starting to like affect me, I think, in lots of like different ways. I'm starting to be very nocturnal for the last few days. Like I just can't sleep and I'm not tired. And I wake up at the same time I always do, and I'm just awake. And that's always another huge sign that I'm supposed to be listening to something. Isn't it crazy that we can have all the signs telling us we need to be doing something and we can still ignore it? I'm certain I'm not the only one, but it's still frustrating that I can't convince myself to listen. Okay, I am going to move on a little bit. So the next step is just going back through these colors again. So I'm going to wet them down. And I'm just going to use a slightly smaller brush this time. So this one is around 6. You can use whatever brushes you have. And I am just going to clean up where I want some of these colors to be. So I'm going to start with this middle one again. This lightest one. And because I really want it to look like it's glowing right here. And then I'm going to go in with a yellow. I'm actually going to do a little more water and a little less yellow this time. Just give it a nice wash of this color. Just because we already know the colors there. And we don't need it to be a super defined moment. We just need to kind of blend them all together. This is just water on now. Here, blending this one out. So I don't really think I need any more of this orange on here. I just need it to all look really nice where I want it. You're just touching up these colors right now, okay? I really like this spot here, so I'm not going to mess with this right now. I'm going to mess right here. On some of these, like this one has the, like you can see the splotches and it looks pretty cool, but I overall don't love that as much as I love like the really smoothness of the transitions in this one. And this one is, I actually love this one. There is a slight line, but it's not as jagged as the other ones. And then for this one, I literally painted in circles, different colors. This I'm just gonna kind of add these in where I want the light, because after this step, I won't really be able to add any more light in. It'll mostly just be adding the darkness in. Okay. A little bit more here, yellow, just to kind of make this a little more orange. Gotta just feel what's right for you here. Just adding water. You know, I think I know what this feeling is. Sometimes painting will unlock things like that, you know, as we're painting and we're focusing and we're breathing and we're being intentional about our art. I am realizing that this feeling that I have about not paying attention to whatever I'm supposed to be learning right now in this season that we're in, this brief middle of eclipses, birthday transitional phase. It feels a lot like the stopping me from getting to, okay, me not wanting to tune in to what I'm trying to be told by the universe and God right now feels a lot like when you haven't been to church in a while or when you haven't done your homework and you're kind of embarrassed to go back because it's been so long and you feel really bad, even though you've been doing the thing, you just haven't, it doesn't feel like you've been showing up. It's a very similar feeling to that. I don't love that. I don't love that guilt feeling. I hate doing things out of guilt, which is probably why I haven't done it yet. Okay, here we go. We're going to add some dark in now. If your spots right here are super duper wet, if your whole page is like your light spots, don't add your dark until you dry it. You need to dry it first, okay? Because otherwise this darkness will just mush right into your light colors. But my edges are not dark, so I am going to get a brown color I like, which is a pretty dark brown. And I'm going to go in very lightly with mostly water. And I'm just going to go where I think, ooh, that was not mostly water, where I want some dark on the edges. So on the other side of this pumpkin, here, where would the shadows be? So for me, the shadows would be close to the ground, under this pumpkin right here, there would be a shadow because the moon is shining from there. There would probably be a shadow most of this side of the tree. So I'm actually going to do just a wash of darkness. So the wash is just mostly water, a little bit of paint, and we are just basically darkening this entire section. See? Mostly water, a little bit of paint, and just darkening this all up. I know I'll have a branch there, so that will be where it will stop. But essentially what's happening is this tree is going to just block in our moonlight, and it'll be darker on this side. I'm going to add a little bit more brown over clear on this side. More shadows right here. Right here. Along the edges of my painting. Just darkening it up a little bit. We're going to come back in later with more shadows, more of this exact shadowing. But for now, it'll be right here. And we are going to take time to dry this again. Also, we are definitely going to go over time. Goodness gracious. All right. I'm going to pause the video and mute myself so that you don't hear me drying. Okay, so I have that layer done now. The next thing we're going to do is the black outline, the black of everything, okay? So I'm going to remind you, here's what it looks like. All right. If you have chosen to do something with a background, like this one has a background hill and a foreground hill, I made the foreground darker and the background is like a brown, okay? This one, the foreground is black and the background is navy blue. I did not do that with this one. This one is kind of like this or this, okay? That's what we're going for. So I'm going to take my 6 round one. Yeah, I'm going to take my 6 round brush and I'm going to go in with black. And I am just going to go in everywhere. Don't paint your moon black, okay? Do not paint your moon black. And I'm going to just paint my edges. Go over the lines of my tree that I drew. That's just what's happening. This is what we do now. We're just gonna trace over everything. Have you guys watched the replay of last week yet? It was amazingly relaxing and insightful. And if you haven't had a chance to watch it, I think you absolutely should. So when I'm painting this tree, I am starting with the big branches, the ones that I like the best, the ones that I'm sure of. And then I am just continuing on. So I'm going to just start with the big ones, okay? Start with the ones you like, and then we'll add the detail branches later. So like here, I don't know exactly what I want it to look like yet. So I'm just going to kind of find a nice place that if we decide it's 2 branches, it'll just go right there. Going to do my trunk. Make sure you're using enough water, that your paint to water ratio is good. If you're finding your tree is bleeding into your background at all, that means you need to dry it a little bit more because it's probably not actually dry yet. If you're finding your first coat of black paint is not going on thick enough, that's okay. We can come back again. Just get this first layer of black on here, and you'll be really happy with that. I do not love my tree, just heads up. Not my favorite tree I've drawn today. Kind of wanted it to arch more. Make sure if you want it to look a little bit spooky, that some of your limbs are scraggly, squiggly, something that would cast a spooky shadow. I'm just kind of blending out. So if I do a straight outline like this, I want it to blend really nicely to make it look like it's not just sticking straight out. So I will go and kind of fill that in a little bit. And I'm going through and any straight lines I have, kind of just jagging them up a little bit, squiggling edges so it looks like spooky bark. Kind of rough. Nothing too smooth. Don't forget to paint your ground. Oops, sorry about that. Just gonna paint in. And don't forget to breathe while we're painting. Breathe in and out. When we were doing our meditation today, did you feel like you found things on your body scan that just seemed a little out of place to you? And did you just keep feeling some of these things popping up during um, the peacefulness? Like when you were sitting in that beautiful oasis, did you feel like some of those things that kept popping up for you were trying to ruin your beautiful vacation to the oasis you're grounding into? If you did, this would be a great time to kind of process through some of those things, think about them, think about where they're popping up in your real life as we are just adding spooky branches to our tree. Spooky, spooky branches. Breathe in and out. Feel free to thicken up some of your branches to just make them look a little bit more natural. Don't forget that they do fork out a lot. And if you're going to have bats in your painting, which we will add in a little bit, kind of think if you have any branches that a bat could hang from. I mean, we all know they'll hang from anywhere, but if you need to have a place specifically in your painting that you would like a bat to be hanging from, maybe think about where the best place to put that would be right now. We are just painting all of our spooky vibes, and we're breathing in and out. We also need to paint our pumpkins, so let me go ahead and show you what we're doing with that. I'm going to do the outline of your pumpkin first. Going to make sure it's firmly sitting on the ground and it's not just floating up in the sky. What I mean by that is if you drew just a regular ball, make sure you have it, you make it close enough to the ground that it looks like it could be reasonably sitting down. So you might have to flatten out these bottom edges a little bit. Then I'm going to trace my jack-o'-lantern eyes very carefully with the tip of my brush. And the nose, whoops, I lost the nose. That's all right. The nose is really difficult because if you get too thick of paint, you can totally lose some of these little details. So you need to be very detail oriented right here. Also, if you're like, wow, this is too difficult, I hate this, you can do what I did with this one and just paint it in, and it's no big deal. It doesn't have to have a face. It can just be a pumpkin sitting there. These ones are all just pumpkins sitting there. No big deal. They don't have to have a face, okay? And you're going to paint it in very carefully. There we go. Getting a little bit more paint on my brush. Don't forget to breathe in and out while we're doing this. How are we doing, friends? And see, they glow. Gonna do one here. If your paint is all still wet, if you're dragging your hand at all, make sure you're not dragging it back into your night sky. I tell you that because I almost just did it myself. I'm going to trace my face again. You guys gotten a chance to watch the family replay, the family art replay we did? We painted thumpkins. That's what Savannah and I decided to call them. Thumpkins. Thumb pumpkins. It was so much fun and adorable. Ten out of 10 recommend. I also think I'm going to change things up with the types of paintings we're doing. I have found that I really enjoy painting abstracts while doing these guided arts. It's very difficult for me to teach and do like a meditation, like teach the painting, an in-depth painting, and a meditation while we're doing it. So I might be doing more abstracts and then once a month having a cool seasonal painting, watercolor painting that we can do so that we can really love the meditation part of this and do that a little bit better. I'm playing with that idea. Please let me know what you think. And then we're not in like a rush and no one has to feel like everything has to be perfect. Nothing has to be so detail oriented with the abstracts. And we can just truly use it as a form of meditation. And then we'll still do these fun ones every once in a while, but just not as much. Take a deep breath in and out. I think these pumpkins look so silly as we are doing this. Like before they have their whole face, like before the whole thing is black. I'm going to darken up some of this black. Because most of it's dry for me. Just going to darken it up. And take a deep breath in and out. Can't forget to breathe. And whatever you've been processing through, whatever you have just been feeling your feels in, it's perfectly good and absolutely exactly what we want. Okay, now before we add our bats, this would be the time where if you want to add any more shadows, we will do that. So with this one, I added so much shadow. I shadowed everywhere. This one, I mostly just shadowed right under the tree branches and on this side here of the tree. This one, I just shadowed this side of the tree and in between the tree branches and like near the ground. And I think I'm going to do that a little bit over here also. And I'm going to try to get a smoother line. And the way I'm going to try to do that is by using more water and crossing my fingers and hoping it works. No, but for real, um, just adding it in over here because it would be shadowy underneath some of these branches, right? Do not touch your wet paint. Do not touch the wet paint. I'm using brown because that's the color we used earlier for these shadows. If you touch the wet paint, oh, like that, it will just make a mess. You are more than welcome to use your hairdryer right now and dry up your black paint. I'm focusing so hard right now to not mess anything up. And I'm going to get my smoother line by now just going in with water and blending. Just water and not touching the black tree. Like this. Breathe in and out. More water. Slightly darkening here. Blending. Yeah, it doesn't look so bad. Okay. A little bit more down here. We are almost at 9 o'clock, so I totally understand if you have to jump off. When I get finished with this, I will still be opening up video for people who stay, who are live. I think that's fun. I just want this whole thing darker. The moon wouldn't be that bright in real life, right? Whoop. Oh my gosh. What a mess. We're going darker everywhere. I am in rescue mode for this whole thing right now. Just a moment. Everything just got smushy and yellow. I'm gonna clean off my brush. And just use some water to just darken this. Oh, I touched the tree. All right, I touched my tree. So I'm gonna go in and just put a paper towel, dab it up, and not do it again. Okay. Now I'm gonna go in and darken this side. Okay, make sure we're still breathing. Sorry, I went full panic mode and just stopped talking. Okay. I'm darkening up this edge again since I accidentally darkened my entire painting up a little too much. I'm just fixing this edge so that I don't lose the depth. I think I should stop messing with it. If you want to add bats, you totally can. The first thing I'm going to do is dry it really quick. I'm going to pause the video, dry it, and then I'll add a bat, and then we'll try to wrap it up. How's that sound? Okay, really quick. Okay, so I'm realizing I was maybe a little ambitious with this artwork tonight. My apologies to all of you. I am going to add a bat really quick. I use the tip of my pointiest brush. I find a branch and I draw a football shape, a pointy oval, okay? I'm using black, by the way. And then I add two little lines like this, which are the ears, but then also I kind of add at the head in the middle. So I add like a little circle. So it looks like that. And I'm realizing that bat's hanging at an angle. Oh, well. I'm going to add another little bat over here, right on the moon. Now, if you have white paint, you could paint your moon white first. But you absolutely do not have to do that. And then if you want to have flying bats, I'll add one just for fun. It is a V, like you would like a seagull bird. Then you kind of extend the tips a little. And then you add a little body. Oh my gosh, there's giant bugs falling out of my fan right now. This is disgusting. With a circle and little ears like this. Like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. But yeah, there you go. A little bat. Hubby with 2 ears. And like a little circle head. Seriously, these bugs are ginormous. Okay, so many moths. I opened my window and that's a bad idea. All right, I love this. I'll probably keep tweaking with this a little bit because I don't love how everything's not super smooth, but also it makes it look kind of spooky, so that's fun. I did mess up some of my black paint when I was blow drying it, so I'm gonna fix some of that. But I'm so glad you guys could join me tonight, and I hope you've had a lovely time. Thank you for being here for week, what did I say, 17 of Found in Art. Holy cow, I can't believe I'm doing that long already. And yeah, I'll see you next week. We'll be painting calendulas. I'm pretty sure it's live. A calendula is like a marigold flower, basically. And yeah, you're wonderful and amazing. And I hope you have a wonderful Halloween, full moon, and eclipse. I think that happens this weekend too. So I'll see you all later.